Hey, what's up? My name is Rob Payon, and welcome to the Proof of Talent show, where we discuss everything related to the career journeys in the blockchain, crypto, and Web3 industry. Today, I want to talk about starting a career in crypto in a bear market. Because if you haven't looked at the chart of basically anything, um, Bitcoin, ETH, any asset in crypto, and really any asset outside of crypto, it's not looking so hot right now. So, let's talk about what it's like to start a career in crypto in a bear market, and even more generally, working in crypto in a bear market. And the first thing you probably thinking to yourself is like, is now the time to do it? Is the time to start a career in crypto, or is the time to work in crypto when the entire asset class is down like 60, 70, 80% from its all time highs a year or so ago? And my first thought to it is there is no bad time to start working in the industry, in my opinion, if it's something that you want to do. So there's no bad time. And I'll get into why I don't necessarily think that there's a bad time. There's pros and cons to everything, as there is basically everything in life. But I think there isn't a bad time to start working in the space, or to work in the space. And so when you think about working in the crypto industry, a lot of it is very similar to investing. And when I'm talking about that, I mean general overall interest. So, as somebody who's been throwing money in the crypto space and watching it for a while, and since really full time ish 2017, these things move in cycles, right? You had 2014, 2013, where Bitcoin went from $100 to $1,000 and then pulled back 80%. You had 2017, where Bitcoin went from $1,000 to $20,000. You had then 2020, 2021, where Bitcoin went from that $20,000 mark all the way down to $3,000, stayed there for quite a while, and then went from $3,000, $5,000 all the way up to $65,000, $68,000, $69,000, and now is back under $20,000 again. So the investing cycle tends to move in these big boom and bust cycles where it goes up quite a bit and then it pulls back quite a bit, goes back up, goes down. It is what it is. And so I think when you're looking at the interest in careers in this space, that is very similar. There are a lot of parallels to how hiring in the space works and the asset prices. So when you are let's just say, for example, you're a crypto exchange and Bitcoin has just gone from $5,000 to $60,000 over the course of a year, you have a lot more customers, you have a lot more users on your platform. And now all of a sudden you need to hire more salespeople, more customer support people, more marketing people, more lawyers. You're hiring all these different people. You're hiring more engineers, more DevOps, more security, you name it, you're hiring more people. And so then when the price of the assets comes down quite a bit, maybe you're not hiring at all anymore. Maybe you're even going so far as to lay off because you had poor planning. Those things all can happen in the crypto space when it comes to hiring. But that also is the same with job interest. So when the price of crypto goes up significantly, you have probably been paying attention. You have everybody, you have all your friends, your family members, your second cousin who you haven't spoken to in 5 years, hitting you up, asking you about Doge, Elon, SafeMoon coin, whatever it is. And the same thing is somewhat true when you have the price of these assets going up. A lot of people are really interested in starting careers in the space, partly because they're putting money into crypto and they're maybe working some unsatisfactory or unfulfilling jobs that they don't love. And they're thinking, okay, I'm putting my money into this space. I'm watching my money go up. I'm having a good time. I'm messing around on Twitter or Reddit or Discord or whatever I'm doing. And I want to work professionally in the industry. And so they apply for jobs. Maybe they get a job, maybe they don't. On the flip side, where we're at right now with Bitcoin down from 69 to less than $20,000, ETH down significantly, a lot of crypto assets down 70, 80, 90%. A lot of those people that were applying for those roles are now nowhere to be found because, quite frankly, they don't even know if the crypto industry is going to be here 6 months from now. So why would they quit their cushy or not so cushy job to work full time in the space? So again, a lot of these things kind of move in that boom and bust cycle, and that tends to happen right now. And that is what's happening right now is interest largely from the top in terms of applications as well as hiring is down pretty significantly. But similar to investing, I think a lot of the best opportunities are found during a bear market. If you think about the people that had done really well in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, a lot of those people, they may have joined crypto at the top of 2017, 2018. They may have bought the absolute peak of the asset prices, but the people that did really well were the ones that stayed interested in the industry. They were the ones that in 2018, 2019, 2020, they were joining these discords. They were paying attention to things on Twitter. They were still consuming content. They were still researching things. They were still actively dollar cost averaging into the space, even though it was down 80% and a lot of people said it was going to zero. Now, those people tended to do very well simply by researching, dollar cost averaging, and doing that type of thing. The same thing can be said career-wise. The people that didn't lose interest in 2018, 2019, they may have found, and a lot of them did, find really incredible opportunities with companies that ended up growing very quickly in the bull market of 2020, 2021. A lot of conversations I had at Proof of Talent with, at the time, these like little 5-10 person companies. I was like, oh, this is a little baby company. Like they're tiny. And then later on, they're 100, couple hundred people. They are getting valued at multiple $billion. When I spoke to them, they were maybe worth $30-50 million. That happened quite a bit. And anybody that took that chance, anybody that had that opportunity to stay in the industry and to join a company like that, they did very well, be it on equity or on tokens or whatever it might be. And so to go to that point too, when you're thinking about valuations as somebody looking at your compensation, most of the jobs in crypto have a couple different components. Probably the biggest one for most people is base salary compensation, because quite frankly, you need a base salary to afford your rent, afford your mortgage, pay for whatever you need. But base salary compensation. Then you have your benefits, and then you would have what I would consider to be your incentive comp or your upside comp, which is usually in token or equity, depending upon how the company's structured. If it's a traditional company, their goal one day is maybe to go public or to be profitable. You have equity comp. If it is a more, let's say, Web3 focused company, you're probably going to have some element of token compensation there. And the good thing about joining in a bear market is that in many cases, the equity and the token valuations are much more reasonable than they were in a bull market. You had a lot of companies that had really, really, really high valuations, maybe deservingly so, maybe undeservingly so, but you had companies with very high valuations. And if you're joining that company, you're often joining that company with equity or token at that valuation. And that might be something where now that equity or that token is worth 75% less than it was in 2021. If you're taking that shot at this point now, you're likely going to at least see some of that discounted valuation, especially if you're in like a liquid token or something of that nature. But even going back to that, talking about 2018, 2019 individuals, people that joined crypto startups in 2019 did incredibly well because they were able to receive really properly valued or cheaply valued equity or token compensation that gives you a lot of room for upside. Gives you that opportunity to really make multiples in terms of that upside compensation, which is, as somebody kind of taking a shot with a startup, with a tech startup, something that you really want to see. So going back to the point, is there a good time to join the crypto market, or is this a bad time to join the crypto job market? Well, again, I don't think that there's a bad time, and I'll explain that in a little bit more depth right now. So when you think about a bull market, again, going back to that comparison, you think about a bull market, there are a lot more companies hiring, which is usually good. A lot more companies hiring means that there are more job opportunities, there are more job openings, which is great. As a candidate, the more job openings there are, maybe the more likely that you'll get hired. However, on the flip side, with those additional job openings, there are typically a lot more candidates interested in opportunities within the space. So the competition for those job opportunities has to or may actually outweigh the amount of jobs that are open. Something to think about. On the flip side, when we're in a bear market, there's a lot less companies hiring. It's just true, it's factual. However, there's also a lot less candidates that are interested in those opportunities. So when you're evaluating those positions, you're probably going to be competing and applying alongside next to much fewer individuals than you would be in a bull market, or when the crypto assets are, looking really good and everything is just peachy at that point in time. So there's pluses and minuses to both of those. You can get a job in a bull market, you can get a job in a bear market in the crypto space. I don't think that there is necessarily a one is better than the other. I think time in the market, similar to just investing, is better than timing the market. A lot of, really a lot of crossovers between investing in the space and finding a career in the space. Because really, when you're thinking about a career, you're investing your sweat equity or your human capital, your time into the space. And I do think that time in the crypto industry, time in that market, is better than trying to time the bottom or the top of it in terms of finding the best company or getting some type of equity valuation or whatever it might be. I do think that being able to work in the industry is incredibly valuable. And maybe the first company that you work with isn't your forever home. Maybe you're there for 6 months, a year, whatever it might be. But the connections that you make in this space are typically very, very valuable. And building up that level of experience and becoming somebody who is quote unquote crypto native at that point in time will help you vastly in terms of getting your next opportunity. So I would say that it is definitely, if you're thinking about things right now and you're questioning, I want to work in crypto, but I don't know if now is the right time, I think that you should start to plan and make that move, because now is not a bad time. It certainly is not a bad time. And there's no time like the present to get shit done. And I think now is one of those times. So hope you found this helpful. If you are interested in a career in the crypto industry, if you're interested in maybe making that next move, I hope this kind of provided some overall like kind of high level thoughts into working in the space and the ebbs and flows of talent versus hiring. And so if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. You can hit me up on Twitter if you'd like, in DM. You can shoot me an email, podcast@proofoftalent.co. If you have any questions, you have a unique story that you would like to tell, you can certainly feel free to hit me up there as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, see you.